So, school is starting, the nights are getting longer, and we've got two gas giants dominating the night sky, and two terrestrial planets making morning appearances. Oh, he got a grasshopper.
Oh.
Alright. Welcome to
Observing with Webb,
where a high school astronomy teacher tells you what you're looking at, why it's so cool, and what you should check out later this month at night. This is my son Soccorso. Say hi.
Hi.
And I decided to take a different approach this month and actually take you out here to look at the stars, since I finally have a camera that will do that, and I'm running very low on time since this is essentially a brand new year, first year of teaching with all the virtual stuff going on. So, Soccorso, are you ready to look at some of the stuff that's up there already in September?
Yes!
All right, here we go. So the first thing when I've been going outside lately is I actually look to the south, and what I see are two very, very bright objects up there. Now, Soccorso, can you tell me what that brightest one is up there?
I think it is
The big
Jupiter.
gas one. Yes, very good. Jupiter.
And then the one next to it is Saturn.
That's right. That one that's right in the middle of the camera right now is Jupiter, and the one to the left of it is Saturn. Now, these are going to be up in the south. You can kind of see how far above the tree line they are right now, and you can tell them apart because they are super bright. Okay. Also, if you know your constellations or you know what a teapot looks like, you'll notice that there is Sagittarius right there. Now, Sagittarius looks like a teapot. I should have gotten my laser pointer. But let's see. There you go. There's the spout. Here's the handle. There up top is the lid. And that's a little teapot of Sagittarius. And in fact, you can get some other things. There are some nice globular clusters and such. And the center of the Milky Way there, I don't know if you can really see it on the camera right there. But that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is Jupiter and Saturn. And they will be there pretty much this whole month. Now, what's going to happen later at night is Mars is actually going to be way over there towards my neighbor's house. And it's going to rise up, and then around midnight, it's going to be in this same spot, except it's going to be a little more red, and it's going to be by some other constellation. And then in the morning, see how bright Jupiter is? In the morning, you're going to see Venus off in the east, and it's going to be even brighter than that off in the east. In the morning, you have to get up after, I think, 3:30. So those are the planets for the month. You've got Jupiter and Saturn after sunset, right up there by Sagittarius off in the south. And then you've got Venus in the morning and Mars throughout the night. And once again, Mars is going to rise in the east, move to about where those are, and then set in the west. All right, so let's turn around. Actually, let's go way up high and turn all the way around 180 degrees and look north. How do I know that we are looking north? Well, right there is Cassiopeia. And to the left of that over here is the Big Dipper. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that right now it's September 4th, and it's a pretty good night tonight. And that's because there's no moon out yet. Now, what's going to happen is the full moon was just on the 2nd, so that was visible all night. And now we're heading toward a last quarter moon, which is going to be on September 10th. And the last quarter moon is when the right half of it is lit up. I'm sorry, the left half of it is lit up, and you can only see it after midnight. So right now, it's still a waning gibbous. So it's still, it's not quite up above. So now's actually a decent time to get out as long as you're out before like 10 o'clock. What is also going to happen is we'll have a new moon on the 17th, okay? And that's when you have the best skies because there's no light pollution from the moon. And then the 23rd is when we have a first quarter. That's visible from sunset until midnight. So middle of the month is probably your best bet to see stuff like the Big Dipper and Cassiopeia and others. Okay, so you all get a special treat tonight because you are stargazing with me and Soccorso on the hammock. You can probably tell because the video is shaking back and forth. What do you think, Soccorso?
Yep.
But our main little guidepost here is Cassiopeia. If you can find Cassiopeia in the north, okay, that's pretty easy to find. Or a little bit to the side would be the Big Dipper, but that's behind the house now that we're there. But if you can find Cassiopeia there, or if you just look straight up, I'm going to turn the camera a little bit. Do you see that cross shape right there? That right there is Cygnus the Swan.
My favorite constellation.
And you see the star on the left there, the bright one, that is Deneb, the brightest star in Cygnus the Swan. So the star on the right, all the way over there, is Alberio. That's actually a red and a blue double star. And it there's 4 stars going from right to left. That's the neck and body of the swan. And then on the top of the screen and bottom of the screen are the wings, which actually, I'm going to turn this a little bit so you can see the wings a little bit better. See how those top 3 stars make part of the wing, and then all the way to the left and all the way to the right are other stars that kind of make the whole shape. That right there is Cygnus the Swan. And now what you can do is find the brightest star in the same general area, and you'll find Vega, the brightest star in the summer sky. Now, what constellation is that? Do you remember? The Harp? Do you remember what it's called?
Lyra.
Yep, that's Lyra the Harp with the brightest star, Vega. I love that constellation because it's a beautiful little parallelogram shape with a really bright star near it. And so you'll see Deneb and Vega, and then off to the right is another really bright star, which forms this summer triangle of 3 bright stars and 3 big constellations, and that is Altair, the brightest star in Aquila the Eagle, which is kind of that diamond shape that you see there. Okay, it's supposed to be an eagle, but it looks like a diamond. You're getting tired. Now also, let's see if we can see it over here, is Delphinus the dolphin. Oh, there it is right there. See the little diamond, buddy? Stop shaking. See the little diamond there with the little star to the right? That is Delphinus the dolphin. And that little thing you hear is Sam, the puppy, our dog. But yeah, and also if you went back to Aquila and Delphinus and keep going, that's where you will see Jupiter and Saturn off to the south. Okay, that's off to the south. Cygnus is straight up above us, and then on the other side is Cassiopeia. Now let's say you want to look at some constellations in the morning, like you're getting out there right in the beginning of the day when it's still dark. Now what's actually going to happen is Cassiopeia will have moved all the way above us, and it will actually be closer to an M in the night sky. And it's going to look really beautiful up there, and it'll be even darker for it. So before you go to work, see if you can find Cassiopeia pretty much straight above you. All right, so as we look again at Sagittarius and, oh look, I got my green laser pointer, Jupiter and Saturn, okay? I just want to tell you a little bit about some of the close encounters that we're going to get. Because what happens is the moon actually passes along this line that I'm kind of making here, which is called the ecliptic, which is really the path that the sun travels on, but we can also say it's the path that pretty much the moon travels on. And what's going to happen is if you go all the way over here, okay, to where Mars will be in the evening, on the 5th is when the moon is going to be really close to Mars, as long as you get out after 9:30 and find the moon with the red ruddy Mars right nearby. And then on the 14th, also in the east, you will see Venus really, really bright with the moon right nearby. It's going to be gorgeous over there. 22nd is the fall equinox, and then lastly on the 24th and 25th, the moon's going to hang out with these guys, Jupiter and Saturn. Okay, if I remember correctly, I think on the 24th, the moon's going to be like right about here hanging out, and then the next night, the 25th, is going to be around here. So if you have trouble finding Sagittarius or Jupiter and Saturn, the moon will help you out on the 24th and 25th. So let's just take one last look at the night sky. Remember, Sagittarius, the teapot. Let's see if I can get that whole thing in there for you. Just about. See, here's the handle. Here's the lid, this triangle here. And this is the spout. And this is the body. Okay? And then if you start looking up, you should see Aquila the eagle. And you should see Cygnus the Swan, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars, or if you count all of the wings there. And of course, almost straight up above you is Lyra the harp. Over in the north, you've got Cassiopeia, the queen. You've got the Big Dipper over to the left there. Okay. Oh, and don't forget, as always, with the Big Dipper, if you take these 2 stars at the end, you point them, and they point to Polaris, which is the North Star around which everything rotates, which is part of the Little Dipper here, right there. See, it's sort of like a ladle, a very small ladle. Okay, that's just a quick tour of the night sky, and yeah, so I'm probably very out of focus or dark right now, but yeah, I'd like to wish you all, there we go, I'd like to wish you all very clear, dark skies for the month of September.